stay close and monitor is a good approach, but it's something we can't ignore.
Yeah.
There is.
This is Al. Sorry. Maria's exactly right, and that's what we're doing. I think you have to understand what this committee represents, or this group. It's not really, and what we wanted to make sure was that our participation. First of all, there isn't a single project that's been initiated, not one. There's just discussions. So it's been very frustrating because we, for our projects, we want to get them going. So those discussions are taking place independent of this group anyways. But there's a good, I say almost 100% chance that there'll be projects that are proposed by this group that we will object to. And, but to object to them in the group is not the right place. The place to object to them is when they become real projects that they're looking at funding, and then we have an opportunity for public comment through, at least partially through the NEPA process and directly just with our relationship with the reclamation. So legal is going to be very much involved in any of those objections. But we can't anticipate what those are yet, right, Jay? Because they really, nobody's gelled around any given project at this point. We don't know which ones they may fund or they may not fund.
Right.
So there's little, we can't be clairvoyant. We can't read the minds of reclamation. All we can do is react or monitoring them very closely.
And the majority, I mean, actually all of these projects are well, the majority are in grant form, and it's for stormwater, and they're a 50-50 or a 25 bureau and 75% district. And right now I think we've got our hands full with the current grant situation, and we need to get that aligned and fulfilled, and then before considering the additional grants. So that was that was took part in the decision as well.
Yeah, and it's also in the upgrades in New Mexico in there. A lot of times they perceive participation as acquiescence. So I think you need to keep track of everything that's going on, but right now there's no reason for Jay to be spending his time up there as long as we know what's going on.
Yeah, can I ask a question? I vaguely remember talking Al, I think, maybe Al or you, about this, about just making sure we say something so it's clear up front that we're not, it's what Art just said, we're not acquiescing anything just because we participate. But did we put anything in writing, or have we said anything about it?
That's what this letter is about. So
I can't see it.
I'll get you and Maria a copy of the letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we did put, I think, Jay, but I didn't, we'll get it to you and Maria if we haven't already.
It's in your inbox.
No.
In the inbox? Okay.
Yes.
No, Jay's,
Oh, we haven't sent it out yet.
we haven't sent it out.
Yeah, we're not requesting any action by the board. This was just for information, and if you had any objection to us doing it.
I'd like to see that legal reviews it before it goes out.
Yes.
So what we
Without doubt, right? So.
Yeah, it's as we're all discussing, it's a bit of a dance to monitor it in the right way, and participate where it makes sense. And so yeah, we'll take a look at the letter, but I agree with what's been said so far.
Alrighty. Jay, you got anything else right now?
That's all I've got for now.
All right. We'll let legal look at it.
Yes.
My only request is if you make it plain, we want written, if they can give you the written in addition to what you're asking for.
Sure.
All right, here we are. Let's see, Al Blair.
And Jay, I'm going to screen share. You can put that up for the board.
Yes. Okay, can you all see that, Maria, Johnny, and Renee?
I don't think that
Yes.
it's pretty washed out, but I'll talk to it real quickly. So this is, so finally I get to give good news. during allocation for a whole year, I hope. So we just finished up the October charges and reconciliation and met with Reclamation yesterday. We have a little bit more work to do, but these numbers are pretty close, if not final, on doing that. This is the first part of our charge sheet, talks about the Upper Valley and about the Clio release. You can see the Clio release, we were charged 107,866 acre feet. That was during the time period that only the EP1 and Mexico was on the river. So EPCWID had already finished up their season. So we did release. We lost a significant portion of that water. We're still haven't got the exact numbers. We'll have those for you by next board meeting, but probably in the 20 to 30,000 acre foot range due to the infiltration and recharge of groundwater in New Mexico. We do get a credit for, obviously we get charged at Caballo, but we get a credit back for the water that goes to Mexico during that time period on setting it up. This is the bottom of that sheet, and it's where the important number is the very last line. So the maximum that we can carry over our allocation balance is approximately 232,000 acre feet. This year we were able to achieve 227,536. So that's what we've been targeting. We've been targeting around 230, and we came pretty close to hitting that. So Robert did an excellent job. I don't think Robert's there, is he, Jay?
No.
He's not.
So I'm going to give him a whole bunch of kudos since he's not here, so that he won't. But that is trying to hit a needle hole with a moving freight train, right? You're trying to go through a really small, just hitting it right on, and he was able to do it. So kudos to him. And I don't think we shorted anybody water, did we, Art? Did you guys get enough?
Yep.
So I think we achieved, met all the demands and minimized waste. Waste was less than 2%. So that's pretty incredible. The whole thing, he was able to sink it all. We're planning a repeat of that this year. So that's enough water, plus there's going to be, this is the inflow. You guys know water was being held upstream in Cochiti and Abiquiu reservoirs for transfer. It was compact water that was targeted for the project. That you can see that starting around February 1st, which was the target date to start that, it was released, and that's the inflow into the reservoir. So right now we're at about 4,000 acre feet a day are coming into it, so it's at its peak. This is the release pattern from Cochiti. It's got Abiquiu flows into Cochiti and out. This is it as of we speak, so it's still steady at that. They're going to cut back here pretty soon. Right now, out of the 116,000 that was targeted for delivery to Delta Butte, we've received 90,000, approximately 90,000. And there's about 20,000 in transit that they've already released that they can't stop, that's coming down. There's a 6-day transit time, so that gets us up to 110, so we're only short 2 days, about 2 days worth of release. So with that 2-day, not knowing what's going to happen in the next 2 days, I assume they'll continue the release for at least 2 more days and meet that target. That it looks like we've got our water. So that water has not been allocated. That water will be allocated in January. And there's going to be some additional inflows between January and March, depending on rain and other things. And so all indication with our treated sewage effluent plus our groundwater wells, there's not an issue. We can allocate, as soon as we get the formalities done, which would be January, you guys can allocate full 4 acre feet next year. I haven't said that in 20 years, guys.
Yes.
I love
You're
you.
very right, bro.
I like, well, you guys, we're not, remember our requirement, your guys' requirement is that you can't allocate it until it's in the bank, and so
That's right.
it'll be in the bank.
be in advance, correct?
Do that both with money and water, right?
Yeah, Pfeiffer got us 24 years of full supply, and you've had 24 years of drought. I don't know what.
Yeah, but I got Jay as a manager now.
Okay, all right. Things are gonna change.
They're gonna change.
All right, man, the pressure's
For
on.
one, hey, we're batting 1,000.
Yeah. So we just got just 20 more years.
There you go.
Yeah, I hope this is the start of another 24 years of full supply.
There's, this is Johnny talked about the heavy snow, most of it's up north of us, over in the Colorado watersheds, but there's, still, it looks, like there's significant amount that's gonna be in Chama. You can see that up by Chama where they're predicting 12 inches for this. This is the event that's, expected to fall, in the next couple of days. So that looks good, huh? I mean, that's just we just need, what about every 7 to 11 days, those need to come through. That's what it used, for those 21 years, that's what that did. In the winter time, we'd get these fronts moving through every 7 to 11 days. I remember that because that's how I planned what little bit of hay work I had to do around these events. So, this is existing still water equivalent. It's early in the year, but it's pretty dark. We are seeing some accumulations. Let me zoom in on that. Here's our watershed up here, the Sangre de Cristos, the Jemez even has it. That's all looking really good. There's even a little snow over the Gila. So for December, that's great. So we hope to see that dark color stay and get even more. We're at about 60 inches at Wolf Creek of accumulated, and part of that's already melted and compacted, but 60 inches of fall, initial fall. And, our goal, like it was last year, is to get someplace around 300 to 400, closer to 400 if we can. So we'll just keep tracking. Snow reports will start, we probably should have sent one out for this meeting, but got ahead of us a little bit. We were used to snow not until January, but we'll have snow reports starting right after this snowfall is coming through now. We'll wait for that to happen. Setting it up. Any questions? It's all good.
You said something about how they had stopped it from, the release up above, but you figure they'll add 2 more days?
Well, I don't know. This is to today, and we've got, we only need 2 more days of that release to be on target. I can't predict what will happen for the next 2 days because the communication, we talk with the Corps of Engineers on about a weekly basis, and they're very ambiguous. Renee and Johnny and I guess Art and you guys, we shared last board meeting, we have a lot of legal communications with the Corps of Engineers on their operation of this reservoir. They want to store more water, not Coach Chief, but Amazon. And so we were nervous that we wouldn't get our water down, but I mean.
That's good. What is their legal?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna shut the release off as we're talking, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is their legal, validation for shutting down releases? They can't they? Aren't
I think they've got to continue to balance out. It's just that those numbers are real time, and we're not going to have access to those numbers until after they occur. I mean, we're talking about stuff that's happening instantaneously. This is not like anything communication could resolve. We do communicate with them and have both in writing and their meetings. So everything looks good, and we'll find out. It's only at that point it's only 4% of the water. It's in transit, or we've already got in storage 96% of the water.
Okay.
So that's all I was saying.
Okay.
I expect to get the other 4% too.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get more.
Yeah. All right.
If it's raining and stuff, so that looks good. That's all good news, and it's definitely gonna snow. So.
All right. Well,
So that's a full allocation next year. So congratulations.
thank you. We love it. I love hearing it.
Yes.
Al, you got anything more? Or you?
No, that's it for me.
All right. And Robert is off, taking a break.
Robert and Pete are both taking a
And Pete's
well
off
deserved
too.
break, yes.
Both of them taking a break. Okay. We don't got much left to do here.
We've got, David's here to give us an update on 8B,
On 8B, okay.
it's December 2023. Okay.
third-party construction?
Yes.
Yeah. David, go. Now, you can stand back if you want.
My voice carries it.
Yeah, you're.
It's my inside voice. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, Dave.
Yes, we're gonna get started today here in the Upper Franklin. This was the bid that was approved last month for vein construction, for silt removal. So this is where we got started there on
That's pretty silted up.
the, yes,
Yes, that's the higher depths of the Franklin.
That's the Franklin,
yes, right by Delta area.
Right
right?
there.
So we
right
got,
around Delta?
yes, there we go. Yeah, that's how much silt I found there that day. I put my shovel about 3.5 feet. So I caught it.
Can y'all see that, Al?
There's concrete down there, huh? Yes.
No, not really.
Let me share the screen. There?
Yeah, we could say perfectly now.
Okay. Okay, that was the, okay, yeah.
Wow, that's the after right there, about a week later, so after vein construction got started there. We're traveling from Delta, like I said, heading downstream at this point, going to the Paisano overpass. Looks a lot better. At this point, they've reached the Paisano overpass. That's looking back upstream towards Delta. That's looking downstream, heading towards East San Antonio Street. Right here, this is between San Antonio Street, all the way towards, heading towards Eucalyptus. You can see the difference right there, that's looking downstream towards Eucalyptus as they're coming through. So yeah, that channel 4 right there, they're keeping it 15 feet wide, so this whole tunnel. Wow. That is now downstream from Eucalyptus as of Monday. Heading towards, yeah, that's at this point. You can see the difference, yeah, like we've actually got a 15-foot bottom now at that point.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, that silt was what, how many years?
Oh, that's only a couple of years, I think that's maybe, what, 2 or 3 years maybe? When we dug it out last, I think when we dug it out last, we had the guys in there.
13?
I'd seen it, I thought I'd seen it.
That was sooner? Okay, I thought it was at least 20, 15 years, but
Maybe not.
we did it internally. I think we just did that section where we shotcreted by near the heading. I don't recall.
Yeah, it was, and then a little bit further down.
We've had one of these, so this is gonna go all the way to the zoo, to US 54 is a contract, so.
How's Scott being doing? Pretty good?
Oh, they're doing amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great job, yeah, great job.
Jumped on it immediately, yes, so.
So this is the project, this is license 1854 for the city of Socorro. That would be the Rio Vista area on the Franklin Canal.
The one you mentioned, George, the one you drove across right now?
So
Right here.
yeah, this was the before,
They
the
laid
before picture there.
out the center line with help the contractor, so they tore this structure out and they're widening it and concrete lining approximately 400 linear feet of it, right?
Yes, sir, it's
300.
336.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. This was our concrete pours from, this is all gonna be Horizon contractor. So yeah, this was the first, that was the initial concrete pour last week for concrete riprap lining on the upstream side of the pedestrian bridge.
And refresh my memory, is some of that hauled off or are we using on the banks?
Actually, the silt was hauled off, a lot of that silt. Then they brought in good fill dirt to do the actual backfilling of the area on the slopes there and stuff where they needed material. Let's see, yeah, there we go, it's progress for the same day. And then that's the second section, 50-foot concrete liner there, also on the upstream side.
Sorry, that's being paid by the city of Socorro?
Correct.
Yes, it's their contract. Wow. They got the license 1990 for all the city streets crossing the district's facilities, and so they needed a bridge replacement. These have a real bad vertical curve where the back bumper hits.
Yeah.
So they flattened out, they were able to flatten out the slope and make the crossing a little better for vehicles and buses, and then they widened it as well to put pedestrian access on both sides.
Payne has the equipment to do this?
Horizon?
Yes.
Yes, it's all Horizon.
This is all contractors, yeah, the city of Socorro bid the project out last year, except they didn't have guess, they got started late, so, by the time we were gonna release water, they opted to, well, I guess the district, we told them that they couldn't start building till after this irrigation season, because they were gonna be finished. So they're doing this at Rio Vista and then at Bovee, so they're gonna do Bovee next November, because the contractor couldn't do both simultaneously.
Well,
What's that mean?
I have a question. The cost to do a mile of this versus outsourcing it, are it still less expensive for us to do it in-house than to outsource it, or is there, is it?
It is,
Is it a wash?
I don't have the numbers quite yet on this, but just because, so this has rebar and it's concrete,
Well,
so it's
apples to apples,
finished.
of course,
Yeah,
but-
shotcrete wise, I mean, it's significantly, well, it's cheaper to do the shotcrete because we go 2 to 3 inches, 3 inches normally. This is a 4-inch concrete finished layer, it'll be broomed and whatnot. So
Fully reinforced.
it'll be a lot more, it'll be more expensive, but it's the same result essentially. I mean, with 4,000 PSI.
Yeah, we're not paying anything, but this is not
Yeah,
100% paid for by third party.
yes.
Yeah, and most of this is 5-inch plus.
Right.
Plus, yeah.
We're
But
not spending any money.
based on what I see here,
You,
there's people out there that do what we do.
Yes.
And then it'd be for apples to apples, or try to make most bang for our buck. If you add up all the expenses and inefficiencies and equipment that we have for this, I would like to know that, or reaffirm that it is still less expensive to do it in-house. Because if it is, if we're at par, maybe we need to consider outsourcing it to people that
Sure.
do this for,
We can rest
you know what I'm saying? That way we can concentrate on irrigation instead of.
So as far as, yeah, no, absolutely. Once we can get the numbers for this, obviously, no one in the city shotcretes, there's not a single.
Yeah, we got pretty good at doing it, I'm
contractor.
just curious.
No one owns a shotcrete machine. None of the contractors, in fact, they wanted to hire, I got a call a couple weeks ago, they wanted to hire a crew to do a job. But yeah, we could certainly get you a comparison on concrete, on contractor side versus our internal work.
I think also, Jay, we can give Miguel that USDR. You see, when we got into this business, it wasn't blindly. Bureau of Reclamation had spent millions of dollars studying every type of canal lining. I think 21 different types of projects, both cost and reliability. So the decision to go with shotcrete, fiber reinforced shotcrete, was based on Bureau of Reclamation's study that was the most economical way to do it, both in terms of longevity, in terms of sediment control, in terms of efficiency of conveyance and construction. And when we first got into doing this, we just couldn't find anybody that could do it, so we trained our guys. I guess our first shotcrete was back on Wasteway 1, right, Jay? I don't even know if you were, that was before you started work for the district?
No, I was here, yes, it was 2010, 2011, yes.
And based off work that had been done down in the lower Rio Grande Valley, had done miles and miles of shotcrete work. But I would expect, those are old studies, but I would expect we could run those numbers through the Corps of Engineer cost software with RSME. We could get a comparison pretty fast. I would say this type of construction here is probably double the cost. Sometimes around double.
I was gonna say at least 50 to 75% more, at least, yeah. So, it might be double the concrete.
The last time I saw something like this was when you guys did we did the Riverside, the major expansion. Partidor, was it in 2006, 7 or something?
9.
Something like that.
that specific, blank on that, I mean, that kind of construction is gonna last a whole lot longer, and that's in an area that needs to last as long as it possibly can.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's why we require it, so.
yes.
A good point.
We don't want to go back in and replace, this bridge is supposed to last 100 years, and we don't want the canal to last that long.
Was that one of your requirements, Al, when you, as part of going back and forth of the design, that you insisted that this be this durable, let's call it, product?
Yeah, that was part of, for all our third-party work, we don't, well, first of all, they don't have shotcrete capability, most of them. But because we want the additional, the doubling of the life expectancy by putting rebar
Good.
We do allow the panels, you know, we did some work with the panels for TxDOT. TxDOT paid for the panels. I don't really have a problem with using the panel approach. Jay, do you know why a lot of these guys are still just doing it the old fashioned way and not buying the panels? Is that just availability issue?
It is, it's availability. The guys, they've got an office or a plant here in Las Cruces now, but they come out of Caso Grandes here in Arizona, and they just can't keep up with the demand. So these panels are pre-welded, prefab, so you send them the shape of the canal, and they'll bend the rebar to the shape of the canal. So it's good and bad. I mean, it's got to fit the shape exactly. If not, they have to do some modification to the panel. But so that if obviously the cross-sectional area of the canal changes, so it gets a little difficult. But yeah, it's production. These guys, we've been using these panels for a few years, and they are the only outfit really that we know that does these pre-welded, prefab panels. And yeah, it's a delivery. They can't make them quick enough. So these guys are still just tying rebar using the standard old-fashioned one.
And also time constraints, I'm sure, because yeah, here in this part, one day, it takes about 3 days to do a 50-foot section of liner. So yeah, one day is just for dirt work, second day is form and rebar work, third day usually in the morning, finish up form and rebar work, and then pour in the afternoon. So about every 3 days, only to do 50-foot sections. So that's the other part. This was for the actual drill shafts on at least the bridge, so that they were just going in that day. So they were drilling and setting in rebar cages that morning.
Columns.
You can see as they're going in.
Cage.
Yes, sir. That's all I've got for you all this month.
Very good.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Welcome. Appreciate it.
What happened?
Not for that. That was this week.
Oh, no, I thought, okay. Did we lose them?
No, I shifted them over to yours.
Oh, I'm like,
Uh-oh, we got
oh,
Johnny
he's sideways again.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Okay. No Robert? No Pete? Jay doesn't need to come from 12. Subdivision plans, and I see a none. I'll be darned. So where's Sharon?
We got John Sharon.
Is she going to?
Gail, she wasn't feeling well this morning, so I'll be taking care of these applications on Lower Valley, for Lower Valley Water District.
Okay.
So we've got it's 4 applications on behalf of Lower Valley for subdivision on Behad Estates. It's adjacent to Stove Road, right here in Alameda. They're putting in water and sewer, new water line, they got water, but they're putting in sewer. None of those houses have some type of sewer. So they'll be boring underneath the build and drain and the Franklin Canal for a loop on the water line and to install the new sewer line. And all these are good to go as far as engineering wise, and the plans and engineering or licensing recommends these for approval.
Okay. So moved. All right, Larry makes a motion. Second. George makes a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Yes. Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passed for those 4. Go ahead.
Application 3411 is on behalf of Odin Environmental Solutions. They are a contractor for International Boundary and Water Commission. They are working on the levee up there by Borderland and Artcraft area. So this is for an ingress and egress on the Borderland spur drain to access Canutillo ISD's old field, alfalfa field, next to the elementary school there that Icon Homes purchased.
So just temporary.
Yes, it's temporary. They just need to haul the clay from that field and put it on the levee, and then they're gonna haul sand from the levee back into the field, so it's an exchange there. So they're using the drain. The drain is covered up. It's been filled in.
Okay.
So they're just using it as a temporary access for 3 months. And yes, I'd like to see you recommend this for approval.
Move to approve.
All right. Mike made the motion, George second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Johnny, aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you, Johnny.
Application 3442 is on behalf of Tactical Infrastructure Maintenance Solutions, LLC. This is the contractor retained by United States Customs and Border Patrol to clean the vegetation from the Isleta Port of Entry to the Hudspeth Feeder Canal, all along the border fence.
Wow, that's a long way.
Yes, it's about 22 miles, and here recently, actually it was May of this year, we brought to you all an agenda item for a memorandum of understanding, an MOU between us and CBP, Customs Border Patrol, for, to do this work, and essentially through the MOU, this temporary license for the contractor is adhering to all the requirements of
That we would,
the MOU, yes.
and
So-
we granted them access even inside the, if they need it?
Yes, if they need to. So, yes, and, the district, we've done quite a bit of work on the riverside on widening that right bank next to the border fence and locations, although there are some downstream before Wasteway 1 where they're gonna need to do some work and get in the channel, but the vegetation is real bad. There's some real large trees with 8 to 10 inch diameters that have grown. So, yes, so this is a license that will take that for the contractor for Border Patrol and
Is this through the GSA, or is the Corps of Engineers involved? or-
Corps of Engineers.
Lovely. So they're,
Yeah, no, so that's, they're through Corps, through CBP, and so we've got the MOU in place, and then this is just so the contractor can use the left bank of the riverside to travel, and, obviously there's some, there was a settlement reached between the district and the Border Patrol back in 2010, and that covers a portion, but this is for them to travel down the left bank to get where they need to, within our right of way, and make sure that, they don't interfere with our operation maintenance and all that good stuff. It addresses the dragging, so they removed all the drags. We addressed that with them. They picked up all the drags, and there'll be no more dragging, and they actually put some signs up that no dragging is allowed. So it was a very productive meeting, and so this is just a license for 6 months, obviously through water season, so till we get to water season, so they can go in and clean up that vegetation and dispose of it.
Yeah, it's a vegetation on our property and 100% of the cost of this cleaning and disposal. We don't pay anything.
Yeah.
all right, as long as they're not doing any infrastructure work or any major
No,
work.
absolutely not, yeah, no.
I think the last time we agreed that we would do it ourselves instead of them doing it because of their inefficiencies and the delays and
Yeah,
everything, so.
no, we had a very productive meeting, not only with the MOU, and we worked on that, but through this, we met with the contractor. It's a Spencer Construction, this is LLC spin-off from Spencer, an engineering firm, that this tactical, it's Tim's. So, they've got we went over the procedure, the approach, and they've got a plan, so they're getting ready to get after it here. They're supposed to mobilize this week, so.
Good. No. Did I hear a motion?
Move to accept.
All right, Jordan made the motion to
Second.
accept. Larry seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Johnny, aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passed.
And license 3454, this was just for temporary ingress and egress for a surveying company out of San Antonio to come into Franklin Canal from US 54 to Alameda. They were going to go in there and just survey the inside the Franklin Canal. This is TxDOT, it's for TxDOT. It's a TxDOT project on Paisano, so they wanted to capture all of the canal parallel to Paisano.
You said inside the canal.
Yes, they wanted to capture all the bedding.
The center line.
Yeah, the center line, the bedding, because we didn't have any water in there, so they were just surveying, they're not doing any physical
not
work or staking.
Claiming
Yeah,
who's
no.
on who or.
No, and they actually, I asked them for the file, and they said they'd share the file as well, so that's good.
Okay.
That's good. So you can compare it to our fund?
Yeah. All right. I hear a motion on approval for that one.
So moved.
All right, Larry made the motion.
Second.
Second.
George, all right. Johnny second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign.
Johnny, aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passed. Next,
14 none. 15, so we got one application for a dewatering license on behalf of Speece Construction. They are the contractor for Lower Valley Water District here on Fenter Road, here in town of Clint, and FM 1110. They're installing water and sewer lines, so they'll be dewatering to lower the water table there for the sewer line into the Mesa drain.
Okay. Move to approve. Second. All right, Mike made the motion, George second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone, aye.
Johnny, aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. All right, motion passed. Very good, let's see here. Now we're up to 19 here. Back to Jay.
19A. So last month, Dr. Bear had I think it was discussion only, and this is for discussion only as well, on the proposed multi-use path along Texas 20 Alameda from Fayetteville to Tornillo. And we were supposed to have received the TxDOT survey and alignment, proposed alignment, and we received this last week from the county. And this shows the proposed alignment use for the multi-use path. And it's essentially on the westbound side of Alameda from Fayetteville to Tornillo, or north and east, I guess. Closer to.
I've got some photographs of it too, Jay, if you want me to share.
Yes, yeah, that'd be great. So that the blue line is essentially the proposed. You got Alameda, and then we have the Alamo Alto drain parallel and adjacent to Alameda. And
Which is the north side, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
northeastern side,
Yeah.
but the westbound lane. It's the westbound lane towards.
Okay.
Vegas, yeah, or yeah.
All the speed is and where the big drop off is and all that.
If you want to put up my share screen, I'll talk to the location.
Are you all? Can you see your screen now? Johnny, can y'all see?
Is it up on yours?
Yes. Can y'all see it, Maria, Renee?
We got it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So these lines are very tentative,
Yes.
but let's go look just to get you a bearing. This is at the location. Larry will know because there's some bees out there, but this is right where the Alamo Alto, for example, crosses Texas 20. So if we look at it from an aerial view, it's down near the city of Tornillo, and this is where it comes across. And of course, they're going to need to cross our drain. If we look at it from the street view, it's even, you can see that there's actually quite a bit of shoulder that TxDOT has taken on our right-of-way, which isn't going to be shown in this drawing. So we're gonna, and we know this is a deficient survey, that we're gonna actually have to get a new survey and overlay this with our maps. But if you move this blue line just down a little bit, it falls within that disputed zone. And I think that the county will work with us when we pick the final location of that. It'll still give them plenty of separation, won't affect our operations any. Yeah, and so it looks very positive. It'll just be, at this point, to the right of the crossover, it's no longer on our property, it's on state of Texas property. So, our license will end at this point with them. But it does continue back towards Fayetteville for a couple of miles along our drain, or really what we're going to try to do is work with them to address it within the disputed area with TxDOT. And once we get that done, then basically we could just turn it over to TxDOT. It won't be our responsibility anymore. But that'll be something that when do we anticipate, Jay? Probably 6 months to a year before they even have their final survey, right, in the new drawings?
That's the discussion right now, yes. So they're still doing some design.
So we just want to get you guys input, sort of information only, with little input for you as you think that this is something that we can pursue. This is what we talked about before, it looks favorable location. Our that drain is very heavily vegetated, as you guys can see in this picture. And so there's some, might be, they'll actually probably want to remove some of the vegetation, because some of that vegetation, well, you know, Art, as you drive in every day, some of those tamaracks all go right to
Oh, yeah.
the edge of the pavement.
There's quite a drop too off the shoulder of the highway right there too, in spots. So
Yeah,
it's gonna require quite a bit of fill, I think, unless they're planning to put it way down there. You know, it's a few feet, Larry, isn't it, what, 3 or 4 feet below the surface of the road?
If there's a culvert, they're gonna put, there's those pre-manufactured pedestrian bridges from Contact. We've used some of those on the Escalante Wasteway. They're like 10-foot wide pedestrian bridges, so they're already prefab and constructed, so they just drop them in. Have like trusses on the side to keep the pedestrians, you know, all intact.
Well, it's gonna be quite a chore, I think, for them to do it. I mean, it's okay with me, it's not on our properties, but it's not gonna be a simple one, I don't think.
Why
It'll be in the disputed area. It is, you know, we claim that property right now, but we claim right to the edge, right here.
Okay.
So we'll work with them and TxDOT. There's already, by the way, TxDOT allowed in their claimed area, fiber optics and other stuff, so there's buried cables underneath the large part of it. But we'll make sure that we've got access for our maintenance, and obviously they're not gonna be touching the north side of the drain in this area. And then they'll need a crossing going across the drain, which that's not an issue. We would have given that. That's much more routine. But this is the one that used to be on the Tornado Canal, going down by your house, Art.
Yeah, thank goodness. So that's what I'm saying, this is much better than what the first
gonna be a walk trail bike.
The first shot was, this is a lot better.
Walk bike, yeah, temple way.
But this isn't gonna be simple for them, which I don't care, I mean, if they wanna put it there. But that's not a simple path they're talking about.
What's more?
Yeah, it'll be like the one they did down in Tornado. It'll require a base material, grading, drainage, sloping, crowning, all that stuff. And they want to put in that, you know, they want a separation, which we can get in this area, somewhere between 8 and 12 feet from the highway. They've got their initial plans, they have it as a vegetated median. We don't know who's going to take care of it. So it'll just take time to see what actually comes to fruition with the amount of money they have.
Hey, Al, how about crossing with tractors on top of the trail?
Well, you know, we don't have any, in this particular reach, we have zero activity. We don't even drive on it.
No, I mean,
He's talking about individual farmers.
individual farmers crossing
We'll
the.
be sure to coordinate that or let.
Yeah, when we talked to them about that briefly, for example, over here where it crosses our entrance to our road, you know, within our right of way, that's got to all be laid down and, you know, our issue was crossing excavators on it, so track vehicles.
Wow.
So I imagine if we get it designed, we've been doing a double layer of concrete, 4,500 PSI or 5,000 PSI concrete with 2 layers of number 6s.
Wow.
Yeah, because we crossed a lot of heavy trucks through there.
Yeah, they'll have to be concrete, those sections.
Right, so we'll get it with a heavy truck design, but it'll only be that section that our road is in, that's right here where my cursor is. But anyway, you know, every single foot of it's got to be evaluated, so we have to wait until we get. But most of this area here, we don't. There's as many. Well, when you drive down there, you know it's a bosque, right?
Yeah, like a bosque. Yeah.
And so there's nothing. There's no activity. There's no driving on this south side. No, none at all. You can see it's a lot of the spoils from cleaning it just piled up. You couldn't drive through there if you wanted to. There's a lot of trash in there too. But it's not, we haven't maintained, it's been a long time since we've cleaned that drain.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
How does it benefit us to do this project if we do it? And who's gonna maintain it once it's done?
Oh, it's all the county.
And so the way that, just as I explained last time, the way we're doing it is that we're doing it in an area that will probably, we have a dispute with TxDOT over who owns the land. TxDOT's already done work in this area, and they already have some communication cables they permitted in this area against our wish. What we would do is that this would be turned over to TxDOT. In other words, that if we can get this thing to accommodate, that we get out of the business of having right-of-way so close to Texas 20, to a state highway, and we put, and they build it within the no longer disputed TxDOT right-of-ways. So it's, we've done this before on other projects where we have a dispute, so it's sort of a win-win situation. They'll clean up that area. It's 100% cost on them and 100% maintenance on them, right, Jim? I mean, there's no obligation.
Oh, yeah, we don't have any participation, they're gonna build it, maintain it, and, keep it, for them to.
No liabilities on
No,
us.
absolutely not.
Better.
No.
Okay.
Very good,
Just
all
for
right.
discussion, you said.
Well, it looks like we've next got a closed session, which, and then we'll come back out. So, let's take a short little break here at 10. Let's show that at 10:33, we taking a short break, okay?